Hello and welcome to round 5 of Psgl. That's right, halfway through the season now. We're really getting on in this championship. Obviously, this race was recorded quite a while ago, but I've just been delayed on uploading videos. But anyway, in the only qualifying session we have on our first lap, you can see it's leaving a bit on the table here, and fantastic start to the race. So for this race I have fixed the tyre pressure situation because I've mentioned that I was running maximum tyre pressures since the first race, and then I was told that that was not a very correct decision. But you can see I only have one lap on the board because I've already used up a set of tyres on that half lap I did where I spun off. So this is my last lap of the session, and it's only good enough for P13, and at this point I'm thinking I've got enough time. I'm just going to put a set of the scrub tyres back on. I think the delta was about nearly a tenth, but I think a lot of mistakes were made on my lap, and I think there's a lot more potential. So here we are then, on a set of scrub tyres, going for my last lap. Not the best run out of the last corner there, I'm half a tenth down, and through turn 1, yeah, left a little bit on the table there. So yeah, we're already down on the lap. It's just more of an incentive to push, however, for me. So now you can see coming through the banked corner, not really gaining any time, kind of just maintaining what we have before. So end of sector 1 is done, and now coming through sector 2, yeah, just okay. And now coming through here, trying to keep the throttle as pinned as possible, and it's actually worked there. I'm now up on my delta. Now this left-hander here, which I had made a massive mistake on my last lap, I've made again by not using enough road, turning in too early, and unfortunately that's cost me about a tenth of a second there. So yeah, coming into this final sector now, we can still salvage something from this lap if we just get this final sequence of corners correct. You just kind of have to throw the car in and hope for the best, and it looks like it's worked on this time around. We found about half a tenth. So coming up to the line now, hopefully we don't start dropping time, which we do a little bit. Coming up to the line, 3/4 of a tenth, and that was enough for us to get P12. That was it. Couldn't actually see my position there, but yeah, P12, two thousandths off P11 there. But anyway, coming to the race now, 5 red lights, and we are away here in Zandvoort. And it's a pretty decent start. We've overtaken the Ferrari, who's on the hard tyres, which is to be expected, of course. Us managing to out-traction him. Coming into turn number 1 now, a little bit of contact there that I can feel. I think we're trying to go 3 wide through turn 1, which is always never going to work without someone feeling a bit of contact. The Sauber there going wide, and I decide to take a wider line through the bank corner. I'm glad I did, because, yeah, you could hear there quite an explosion behind of collisions there. Involving, I think, some pretty decent drivers. But anyway, now you can see the Ferrari, who I overtook off the start, but he must have got through somehow. I don't know how, but anyway, he's dropped way back there because he's gone off the track. Disappointing for him. And now the other Ferrari here, who I believe, if I'm correct here, that he's actually left the league now. Now I'm not sure why he's left the league. I know he got a lot of complaints about his lag, but I wanted to leave this in here, my battle with him, because for me, I've battled this guy. I battled him back in round 1. Now I'm battling him again here. I never ever experienced any lag with him. So I wanted to keep this part in the video, just because I'm not saying it was because of lag that he left. I'm not sure the reason why he left in the end. But if that was a factor, I mean, you can see for yourself here in this footage, he's not lagging at all. So I don't know what the whole debacle is with that. But anyway, we're trying to go around the outside of him into turn number 1. He defends quite well there, taking the inside line. I tried to go around the outside, just didn't have the momentum to proceed through with it though. It wasn't far enough alongside and ahead, so I had to back out of that one. But you can see now, it looks like it's just a matter of time here, and I've got him down the straight. The pace feels decent, pace feels good, so I wanted to really clear him as soon as possible so I could maybe go chasing after the guys ahead. And you can see just closing in the gap bit by bit here over the next couple of laps. It's the Aston Martin and an AlphaTauri ahead of me, who I believe I've been misnaming a lot of cars since I started this. I was calling an AlphaTauri a Toro Rosso a few races ago, but Anyway, on lap 7 here, you can see my teammate and who you can see there who's got the fastest lap. That is the championship leader. They've come into the pits very early here, so I was thinking in my mind, are they on a 2-stop? Because if that's the case, you know, my tyres feel good. I think they're only in the 30% range right now. So I'm thinking, if they're doing a 2-stop, why don't I try and do a 1-stop? That could be useful for me. But anyway, you can see now a lot of them pitting in, moving me now up to P2 with the Aston Martin just ahead. And again, the tyres, they're not amazing, but you know, I don't think I have the pure pace to fight with the very front. So if I can just try a different strategy and gain some track position, maybe just try and hang on to it, that's the only way I'm going to be able to perhaps beat these guys. So I've led my first lap here of Psgl because I haven't pit yet, so it's very artificial. You can see these guys behind me, the two behind me I believe haven't pit yet. I think they're in my position where all three of us haven't pit, but they're on the hards. They've got a lot more grip than me at this stage. So the Ferrari goes through into the lead and I lose the back end and subsequently let the AlphaTauri go. I called it an AlphaTauri. I was calling it an AlphaTauri earlier and I thought that was the correct name. Racing Bull. I should know this. Why don't I? I know it, I just don't want to say it for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, the Williams behind me, he has been on fire this entire race. Very, very quick. And I had no intentions of holding him up here. So you can see he comes down the inside. I'm not going to fight with the race leader when I'm not on their pace. It's just something you just don't do that. You know, you don't just unnecessarily block someone who you're not racing with. It's just, for me personally, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to be known as that guy who's just like a train blocking everyone. But anyway, I'm coming into the pits. So yeah. 1-stop might be a little bit tight, but I think I can do it. I'm definitely going to do it. Yeah, I've got nothing to lose here. As you can see, coming out of the pits, and I make a little bit of contact with the Alpine there. I think we both squeezed each other a bit too much, and it resulted in some contact. But yeah, that's not what I needed. I needed to get past him as soon as possible because he's pit a while ago, back on like lap 8, lap 9 maybe, when my teammate pit around that time. So yeah, very, very important that I get past them here. So coming down this straight now on the approach to sector 3, and I've got past him. Now I want to push at this stage to catch the guys in front, but you'll see I'm having to do a lot of lift and coasting because I've underfueled the car too much. This was constant now, every single lap. It was this section here on the run down to sector 3, that mini straight where I had to lift before the corner, and it was down the main straight where I had to lift. So yeah, it's like modern day F1 where you have like 2 designated zones where you really have to stop. Well, they clip, their engines clip, they can't control it. But me, yeah, I'm just having to lift and coast and still trying to set decent lap times as I move up into P12 here. The pace is obviously good because I've got fresher tyres, and now you can see that's the same Ferrari, I believe, that went off on lap 1. Can't remember correctly, but again, just thought I'd include this in here because, you know, he's not lagging at all. For me, I never experienced any lag with this guy. We had some pretty good battles back in the first race and obviously at the start of this one, so it's a shame that I believe he's left. I'll have to check it. I'll put up something on the screen if he hasn't left, correcting myself, but yeah. But anyway, looks like we're going to have another straightforward pass on in here. He defends to the middle of the track a little bit, but doesn't really put up too much of a fight, and we are now up into P11. 1 position away from the points. So yeah, this is looking pretty handy, but of course it will all depend on whether we can make these tyres go to the end of the race, because a lot of these guys ahead of me will be pitting again. There's no way they're getting their tyres to the end, and you can see if on cue right here, a lot of them have pit. And now Lico ahead, just down the inside of him, and I'm up another position. And on exit there, a little bit squirrely on exit. He maybe saw half a chance there to maybe do a switchback, but yeah, probably didn't have the grip or the traction with his tyres. So yeah, we get away with that one, and we're now up into P8. Now it's P5 because my teammate and all the others, the really fast guys, they've made their second stops. So they will be coming at an alarming rate up to the back of me, but frustratingly, I'm trying to fight this Alpha, this racing ball in front, but the lifting and coasting is just, I mean, you can see my fuel. I have to save fuel. I do not want to run out of fuel be an absolute disaster, just destroy my race. So you can see lifting about 100 meters at some points before turn 1. It's really getting quite excessive here, but again, I just have no choice. It's either that or I'll be in massive trouble come the end of the race. I think the issue with the refueling was that I assumed I'd be in a train for most of the race using DRS and therefore saving fuel, but because I switched to a one-stop and ran most of my race in clean air, it kind of threw a spanner in the works, and I was using more fuel punching a hole in the air most of the time instead of being in slipstream and in DRS. So yeah, that was the issue there. Not really a mistake, just that I fueled up the car thinking I would be in a different position in the race, but my race changed quite quickly with this strategy. So yeah, it means that I'm losing heaps of time, giving away a couple tenths every single lap, having to lift and coast, but again, it's just what I have to work with now. But I've managed to get into DRS of this racing bull in front, and you can see there that P5 behind had half a chance there, just gave him a little bit of room. I just saw the red proximity arrow and obviously didn't want to have a crash. So yeah, he's actually found my YouTube channel, which I'm surprised about. Pleasant surprise, because obviously the more people watching the better. Yeah, he found it. I'm not too sure how, because I've never told anyone about it in the chat, and my gamer tag is in no way, shape or form related to my YouTube channel. As you can see, the racing ball pulls into the pits, and so does the Ferrari for the medium tyres. So we are now we are in P2. This is our legit position, and if we can hang on to this, be our first podium in PSGL. But don't think that's going to happen, because these guys behind me are lightning fast. But I'm still going to try. I'm still going to try and keep them back at least, as we now cut on to the end of lap 27, going on to lap 28. And you can see, yeah, the Alpine flies past me, no contest, and I let my teammate go as well, because I don't want to unnecessarily block my own teammate when we're on different strategies. It just does not make sense to do that. But I did want to try and stay in their DRS, as my teammate now goes attacking. But you can see he's hit that curb of death, and unfortunately has dropped behind me, and I also believe, yes, behind the Ferrari as well. That has cost him so much time. That's what, 6 seconds maybe of time that he's lost from that. So yeah, very, very unfortunate for him, but it does actually put me back into the podium position. But unfortunately, I've now got the Ferrari behind me, who is the fastest car on the track, and the lifting and coasting is getting brutal at this point. Everywhere I'm having to lift very, very early. I wanted to get the lifting and coasting done before these guys got here, basically. I wanted to have enough fuel to fight them, so I'm trying to just save. I'm trying to get back into the green fuel before they get here, but unfortunately it's looking like it's going to be a very hard task. See, I'm really taking the piss with the lift and coast there. Just trying to get back into the green, really, because yeah, it was really frustrating. But you can see the pace of the Ferrari, just no chance at all of staying with him there. But yeah, you can now see I've got my teammate behind me again, and he's bringing a racing bull along with him, so that should be fun, as we now have 5 laps to go in this Grand Prix. And again, I'm now actually back in the green. My fuel is back in the green, but it will not stay there because this track guzzles up fuel, and you can see I'm back in the red. So the lifting and coasting, unfortunately, must continue, probably to the end of this race now. And it's too late to have enough fuel to fight with these guys, because I haven't done it. I haven't done enough saving. And now you can see on this straight here, my teammate, he's going to fly past here down the straight, and again, I'm not going to put up a fight because, you know, we're on different strategies and he has more to gain than I do. So yeah, let him go there, but I will not make it as easy for the racing bull, because we have 4 laps left of this race, and I'm fancying my chances here, even though I'm having to save fuel, and the tyres are not great. They are not great right now. I believe I have been told by the engineer that I have dangerous levels of tyre wear, and we still have a couple of laps to go, so yeah, gonna have to just take it easy here. But you can see my teammate doing me a big favour, keeping me in the DRS, which is great. It's great because it keeps me in this position, and it also helps defend his position from the racing ball, because I'm not a threat to my teammate. I'm not going to get past him. It doesn't matter if I have DRS. I do not have the grip or the pace to get past him, but I can act as a blocker for the racing ball, and it also helps me as well because it helps me keep position because I can defend with DRS. So it's like a win-win situation here, and if we can keep it like this, then we're on for 4th and 5th for McLaren, which will be probably our highest points haul of the season. But we have 3 laps to go in this Grand Prix, and you can see down the inside goes the racing ball. I had to leave him room, you know, he showed the nose, but you can see I'm just going to hang it around the outside. I'm ahead going into the corner, so he backs out of it there. Left him a bit of space just in case he kept his nose in. I didn't want to make contacts because you can just go flying off the track and into that tyre wall, and that can end your race, so didn't want to do that. But I am also now out of DRS of my teammate because of that battle, which is a shame because now I have nothing to defend with, and it looks like this might be a losing battle here for me. But you really never know, and you should never speak too early because anything can happen in a race. So I'm just trying to keep my chin up and just trying to drive as consistently as possible. The tyres are going at this point. I'm feeling it. They do not feel good. Really, I'm just kind of hanging on by a thread here. But, you know, at best I can get a P5 now, and at worst it looks like I've got 3 cars, so that'll be P8 at worst in this race. So still points, but how many points do I want? That just depends on how I approach these last 2 laps. Not a good start. There goes the racing bull. He is now up into P5, and I lose the back end there, and that invites the Aston Martin to go down the inside. Unbelievable. I've lost 2 positions in essentially 1 corner. That is horrendous. So now, yeah, I only have 1 battle left, and that is with the Red Bull behind me. And unfortunately, as we come onto the final lap here, I don't have DRS. I was just out of the DRS, so I couldn't defend. And I've now lost P7. And that's it for my race, really. Although on the bright side, I don't have to lift and coast anymore. Great. Only took me the entire race to finally be in a decent position with the fuel, but it's too late. I've got absolutely no tyres left. I've got no fuel left, and I've got a 5-second gap to the racing ball behind me. So yeah, guaranteed P8 position now. So I've pretty much just given up on attacking anyone because look, he's out of DRS. There's no way I can make a move anyway. Do not have the tyres, and I'll probably cause a crash if I was to try and outbrake someone. But yeah, overall, I don't think this was a bad race. Just annoying with the fuel management, costing me a lot of time. The pace was decent. You can see my tyres, 88% there, crazy. The Williams wins the race. Very dominant drive from him. Finished very far ahead in the end. But you can now see on the main straight, the Ferrari is slowing up over the line. He ran out of fuel, and you can see there my teammate by the arrow, he's also run out of fuel, and he's going to lose 3 positions up to the line. He might even lose 1 to me as we come up to the line, 89% on the front left. My teammate just hangs on there, but that's very, very disappointing for him to lose out 3 positions there right at the end. But again, that's unfortunately the situation with the fuel. That is what would have happened to me had I not been lifting and coasting that whole race, and that was what I was trying to avoid. Unfortunate that my teammate, you know, lost those positions there. But again, yeah, fuel saving's a bitch, man. It really is. It really is tough. But to see there, just checking out my lap times, which I like to do at the end and compare it to the winner. But yeah, that was a decent race. I was the only person to go for the 1-stop, and I think it was the best strategy. I just messed it up a bit with the fuel situation, but yeah, tyre deg wasn't as bad as maybe was expected. But yeah, see you later.